Hey, welcome back to another video. First things first, you already know what I always start off with. The song of the day today is going to be Mike Tyson Blow to the Face by Clips on Let God Sort 'Em Out. If you ain't heard that song, the production's raw. The whole album is just amazing to listen to. If y'all saw my last video, which you should go see right now, I talk about it, I go into depth, and I give my full rating and everything like that. But this video is going to be something similar to what I did with the R&B one. A few years ago, Billboard dropped their top 50 greatest rappers of all time. I'm going to start from 30 because the first few, I understand there's older people there. And I'm not saying I don't listen to old rap, because I do. Trust me, more than the average person. I'm saying, like, there's not really much for me to say when it comes to rankings 50 through 39. So I'm going to just, like, let that go. First things first, at 30, they got Lauryn Hill, and I love Lauryn Hill. She's a great musician. I love her album, the only one she has out. I love her with the Fugees. She's a very talented artist overall. I wouldn't necessarily call her a rapper because she's not she's an artist. She sings. She's really good at harmonizing. She's great at like doing multiple different styles. But as a rapper, she is great. She would probably be higher on this list if she had more of a work rate, for sure, in my opinion. Next, it's Pusha T. I'm very high on Pusha T right now. I mean, it's expected though. He just dropped a great album with his brother Malice. Like, Clips just had a great album. Daytona is one of my favorite albums to listen to still to this day. I probably listened to it the other day. Like, it's a great album, very easy listen as well. If you've never heard Daytona, and I was one of those people, I was late to Daytona. I ain't even gonna lie, I was. But once I got onto it, I understood why I was so highly touted by everybody and why everybody was like, okay, this is definitely Pusha T's like magnum opus, so he deserves to be on this list. Black Thought at 28. I've heard a lot about Black Thought. I'm gonna just skip through some real quick. Big Pun 26. Rest in peace. I don't think he's better than Lauryn Hill or Pusha T though, in my opinion. Method Man 25. Shout out to my boy Method Man. Let's see. Curtis Blow 23. I get it. He's like a pioneer and shit. You want to give credit to some of the OGs. Let's be serious, yo. Please, no. Ghostface Killer at 22. Shout out to Ghostface. DMX at 21. Rest in peace. I think he should be higher, especially if like we factor in commercial success. He's one of the most successful rappers of all time, and also he's like very good. But also, let's just talk outside of this list that I'm doing right now. Let's talk seriously about music for 1 second. If you put in sales to account for like the value that the music has, like sonically to your ears, you're a fucking loser. You're a loser. Like, if you're talking about first week sales, when I'm talking to you about how music sounds, I don't want to talk music to you anymore. That shit doesn't matter. Like, if you like the way something sounds, just listen to it. If you don't like how something sounds, it's not because it only sold 80K. It's not because it only sold 40. You just don't like it. So bringing up sales has nothing to do with music. Sales has nothing to do with music. It is the business side, and I promise you on everything I love, you will never catch me over here talking about the business side of hip hop or the business side of music in general. I'm here to listen to fucking music. That's it. I'm here to fucking listen to music. And I kind of jumped into this list a little too quick. Another thing I have to bring up, I recently did a TikTok where I was talking about Tommy Richmond and how I felt about him. I really don't like him, not even because of like music, even though I don't like his music that much, even before that shit. The shit that he said when he was like, I'm not a rapper, or like he like basically denounced rap in general, in my opinion. That's how I felt. I'm past the point where I have tolerance for people who disrespect rap music. I'm past that point. Like when Drake was talking about rappers from the UK rap better than people from the US, I'm tired. I'm done. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking. Like, that's just stupid. You're just saying shit because people from the US ain't fucking with you right now. You're a loser. You're a loser. That's literally what this is. You're being a loser. But like walking around having the style of rap or even R&B or any sort of like anything like that, anything that has to do with rap, R&B, even fucking like blues. If you're over here doing blues, R&B, rap, and you're denouncing everything that has to do with that like sector of music, you're a loser. You're a leech is a better way to call it, because you're using everything that like has to do with those genres while denouncing those genres and disrespecting them, thinking you're too good to be called that. Like, you're not. You have 2 songs at most. I'll say 1. I'll say 1. Like, you can't be on here talking about some, oh, I'm not a rapper, man. I'm not. Don't call me a, like. Who do you think you are, bro? That's like my whole point. And then in every video, bro, be wearing straight up 2000s Y2K fucking rapper gear. Like, bro, yeah. You go jack the style, but you go disrespect the culture? Come on, man. Let's get back to the list before I go on a longer rant. Let's see. 20, Big Daddy Kane, before my time. Shout out, though. Missy Elliott at 19. Shout out, Missy Elliott. Ice Cube at 18. Pioneer, of course, has one of the greatest diss records of all time. No Vaseline is fucking crazy. Let me see. 50 Cent at 17. I like that for him. By the way, this is like mostly a blind reaction because I didn't really look at this list. I just knew I was coming in doing like a top 50. 50 Cent is at 17. Would I have 50 Cent in my top 20? Probably, because of his prime. Like, after 2009-ish, his music did take a slight decline. Not a slight, it took a decline. But he's not even in the music space anymore for me to even think of him as anything other than, like, his hits and shit like that. Scarface, before my time, you know what I mean? Great. J. Cole at 15 is debatable. Very debatable. I think he's higher than 15, but I have to see who's ahead of him. J. Cole should be in the top 10, though. For sure. LL Cool J, I understand he's a pioneer. Without LL, there's probably no J. Cole because rap wouldn't be in the place that it is. But, like, as rappers, J. Cole's better than LL Cool J. Shout out Rakim. I'm not even going. Rakim is a visionary. For his time period, he's a visionary, so I'll let him do his thing. He's at 13. I respect it. I genuinely do respect it. Andre 3K, I think, would be in my top 10 if he had more, like, work rate. I understand Outkast did a lot in the early 2000s, but post Outkast, he really doesn't have much work rate or, like, much discography at all. I remember he was on the Deuces remix, and he has one of my favorite verses of the 2020s, which is on Life of the Party with Kanye. Billboard. Kanye's at 11. So listen, I have a whole video on this channel basically ostracizing Kanye for how he is and the type of person he is, and saying that I'm not going to come on here promoting him as like a musician or a person or anything like that. But I'm going to be completely and utterly transparent with y'all. This is a bullshit ranking. He should be in the top 5. His run for the 2000s, his run until like 2018 was fucking phenomenal. As a rapper, producer, just like a curator of music, there is no way in hell that he should ever be outside of the top 10, let alone top 5. Like, I'm telling you, this is crazy. I have to see who's ahead of him. What's the reasoning? I guess his recent shit is what's making him fall down, which I completely understand. He's fallen out of favor with me, but when I'm just like objectively talking music, he has to be in the top 5 for me, at least. Oh, speaking of somebody who's very controversial at the moment, they have Nicki Minaj at 10. That's my girlfriend's favorite rapper right there. I wouldn't have her in my top 10. I think she's one of the greatest female rappers of all time. Do I think she's the best? Different debate, different time. She's good, man. She's good. She has some good songs. I'm not gonna sit on here hating. I think she deserves to be top 10, but her recent shit just sucks. Like, that's mainly what it is. Snoop Dogg at 9, I respect it. Even though he has such a high work rate, I do think he has a high miss rate because he has such a fucking high work rate. He just drops shit. Like, he literally just drops shit. So some of the shit is just not gonna hit. At 8, they have Drake. Okay. Some Drake fans might not like that, and I'm fine with him in this level. I understand. I think he's supposed to be around top 10. I don't think he's a better rapper. Like, I understand you might think he's a better song maker than J. Cole, but rapper? J. Cole like, not even a debate, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I don't like how this list is going right now. I really don't like it. I don't like it at all. This was made in 2023. I feel like if they did a list again, he'd be in the same rank. I think J. Cole should be a lot. Like, I'm gonna keep repeating that. 15 is low for J. Cole, man. Lil Wayne at 7. Lil Wayne would be in my top 3 for sure, for sure. Lil Wayne would be in my top 3. I understand him being at 7 because some of his later mixtapes and just later music in general sucks. The Carter 6 is not a good album to me, so like there's a lot of shit. He had one of the greatest runs of the 2000s. He was right there with Kanye when it comes to sales and just success overall. With that shit, it was those 3. It was Kanye, Jay-Z, and Lil Wayne. But once again, myriad with controversy. He does a lot of things that I genuinely just don't agree with. Same thing with Kanye, of course. But if we're just talking off the field, like I'm not bringing up off the field shit, just fucking singing, rapping, whatever. Those 2 should definitely be in the top 5. It's crazy though. The Notorious B.I.G. I understand peak very high. He dropped like 2 or 3 albums. Like, can we please? I understand. I really like Biggie. Like, I'm not even trying to come out here saying he's not a good rapper. He's an amazing rapper, one of the better rappers of that era. I actually prefer him over Tupac, genuinely. But work rate, the amount that he was able to drop, and I know I'm not trying to use it as a way like, oh, he didn't do enough, but like, we can't have him over people who have 7 fucking albums that are over 8 out of 10. Like, at least over 8 out of 10. Like, Kanye has 7 albums over 8 out of 10. J. Cole has more albums that are like great than Biggie right now. And that's not like, it's not, kind of is. It's just, but like I'm saying, this isn't me trying to say that they're better than Biggie, but they've had better careers than Biggie as rappers. They have more standout performances than Biggie as rappers. I can understand why you'd be like, oh, he's a icon. It's a statement. You know what I mean? They have to put him high. I completely understand. I think that Tupac's probably gonna be 5. You know what I mean? He's probably gonna be 5. I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. But let's see. What's Eminem's 5? Okay. I don't really have much to say. I like early Eminem, old Eminem. Like, now Eminem fucking sucks. Tupac is 4. I like Tupac a lot too. Just because I said I prefer Biggie doesn't mean I think Tupac's ass. I think Tupac is great. I think Tupac is a great musician. This isn't like, I have no hot takes. I'm gonna be real. I have no hot takes about Tupac Shakur. I think he's a great musician and does what he needs to. So shout out to him. Nas at 3. I thought Nas would be 1. Holy shit. I really thought Nas would be 1. Like, since I didn't see his name yet, I was thinking Nas is probably going to be the best because he's the standout of the early 90s and he's still active and he's still active within what he does. And it's like, I get it. Like, some people are not really there for Nas, but once I really started listening to Nas a lot more, I started thinking, these verses are fucking hard. Like, the way that he's able, his flow, amazing. The nuance within his lyrics, the way that he's able to seamlessly make it all work together, regardless of what he's trying to do. Man, it's great. It's great. I will say. So I think he should be top 2. But at number 2, we have Kendrick Lamar. So I know who number 1 is now. I thought I was going to see him at 2 or 3, to be honest, because I don't think he's number 1. But let's talk about Kendrick real quick. Kendrick would be my number 1. And let me explain why. After a little sip of water, of course. Kendrick Lamar, ever since he came on with his first album or like mainstream studio thing with Section 80, was known for one thing and one thing only: having fucking bars and being able to storytell at the highest level and work on multiple different beats. Like, he has hard beats on that album. He also has beats like High Power, which are more like, you know what I mean? Shout out to J. Cole for producing that. And then he drops Good Kid, Mad City, which is definitely his biggest statement piece because he comes out after dropping a more raw Section 80 to Good Kid, Mad City, which has probably his best songs on it. I will say his best song objectively is probably Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. Like, probably his best song. It also has a lot of his like more commercially successful songs. But then after that we go to T-Pab. That's like the like when I listened to T-Pab for the first time, I didn't talk. Like, I kind of froze up a bit, and I know that sounds like dick riding. I don't care. I really don't. But like, the first time I heard T-Pab, it was such a beautiful arrangement when it comes to like having jazz, being able to like toy with jazz within rap music. Like, I haven't really heard, like, at that point in my life, I didn't really hear jazz that incorporated into rap music as I'd seen before. And what's it called, just seeing how he was able to mold it into his own shit was very, very cool for me. And I like fell in love with that album for a very long time, and it's my favorite Kendrick album, I'd say. And then you go to a song like You. That's probably my favorite Kendrick song. It's up there, and the reason why it's my favorite is because the amount of emotion that he has on it, and the amount of emotion that it conveys to you when you listen to it. Because the first time you listen to You, you don't like. My instant reaction was kind of to freeze up a bit and just listen to this man yell at himself, basically. Because the story for You is the fact that he was in a hotel room, probably touring. I don't remember the exact story, but it was something like he was in a hotel room, one of his friends died, or like his friend's brother died, and he felt like he didn't do enough in the instance to really see them because he was busy touring. But he continued to blame himself, and it got to him, so he was losing his mind in a hotel room, drinking and fucking, like, we all know the meme where he goes, ah! I don't know how to do the yell, bruh. I don't know how to do the yell, but yes, You is the encapsulation of basically his emotion and how he felt going from like feeling like he failed. He felt like he failed that young man. But yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just, I don't like talking about that song that much because it makes me think about it. But yeah, after that he drops Damn, which is probably his most like, it's his most successful album, I believe. Like, commercially successful album, great album to listen to. A lot of people say it's a lot of like mainstream music, which I genuinely disagree with. I think that it has so many cuts where it's like, it's storytelling throughout the whole album, and it shows how he went right, and apparently you can listen to it backwards and it shows how he could have went wrong, which is very cool. It's very cool to like have that type of factor. And one of his best like straightforward storytelling songs on there is Duckworth, because like he's able to straightforwardly tell the story about how his father was about to get shot and how it could have stopped him from actually becoming a rapper or even becoming a person. So like this like crazy shit like that is also like amazing to hear within an album. But what does that say? My fault, sorry. After that, he takes a very long break, a hiatus. He drops the Black Panther soundtrack, which works perfectly with the fucking movie, of course. And then they drop, he's on a few songs with Baby Keem on Baby Keem's album. Does very well on those. And it's like a kind of like build up to where he's able to drop Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And then you find out why he was on such a long hiatus, because he was more so finding himself and becoming a better man by addressing the issues he has and like going head first at the problems he faces, or like the problems that he has as a man that he was hiding. So when you listen to an album like that first, it's so raw, it's so like it's such a viscerally feeling album that he's so vulnerable within every song. It's kind of crazy to think, like, when you re-listen to that shit, especially the second half of that album is so raw and just like unapologetic, because it's like him saying, I did this wrong thing, I'm gonna address it, and I'm gonna show you why it's wrong. Because the whole meaning of the album is saying something's wrong and never doing it again is not what helps you actually grow. What helps you actually grow is actually addressing those things, pointing out what was wrong, and growing from it and spreading why it was wrong. I know there's a lot of questionable things on that album, like the features of Kodak Black, things like that. And I understand. I'm not really the biggest fan of Kodak currently, because I think he's a bad example for a lot of people who are like in that area, because he does a lot of good things for his community. I understand that, but he's also a domestic abuser and a drug abuser, and I don't really support that shit in the community anymore. I'm sorry, I just can't. But I can see why, because Kodak is the example of what could go wrong being raised in the situations that they were raised in. But I don't necessarily like agree with him being on the album, period. There's a few other songs. Mother I Sober got famously talked about by Drake in the incorrect way. He thought he was talking about him getting molested. No, it's about his mother getting molested as a child, and thinking that everyone was trying to molest him because of her past and like the way that she's more on edge about that shit, which is very, very like, it's very, very raw, and you can see how he felt as a young man, seeing his mom's eyes, or like how his mom's process was because of something that happened to her when she was younger. So yeah, Kendrick Lamar, and then he drops GNX and he kills Drake for like in a diss track battle, and Drake fans are still like crying and bitching about it. I'm sorry, I like Drake's music, he's cool, but he got fucking fried. Like, it's okay, he got fried. Family Matters is a good diss track, but like, he got fucking fried. It's fine. Like, it's not a problem that he got cooked in a diss track battle, bro. It's not a problem, but y'all still bitching about it over a year later. But yeah, man, I just kind of explained why I think Kendrick is my number one. Great feature artist as well. My favorite feature by him right now is probably either No More Parties in LA or Nostalgia with Pusha T. If you haven't heard that song, run it. But I'm fine with him being in the top 3. 2's good. But let's see. Number 1, Jay-Z. Yep, that's what I thought. Jay-Z being number 1 is completely fine. I understand he was like, he's one of the only rappers that was able to like mold with rap throughout his career. Like, he started off in the early 90s, was able to continue to evolve with the game and like continue to, you know what I'm saying, come through. I respect him being that high. My generation, or like my time, I'm not really like the most informed with how big he was during that time, or not even really that informed with how good he was. I listened to a lot of his older albums. I think The Blueprint's a great album. Reasonable Doubt is a great album. I think he's a great rapper. I don't have him in my top 3 personally. He's in my top 5, but he's not my top 3 because of like more so personal preference and also personal experience. But I completely understand why he would be number 1 to a lot of people, especially people who are a bit older than me. I'll be honest. But yeah, let me know how y'all feel about that. You know what I mean? My number 1 would be Kendrick. My number 2 would be Kanye. My number 3 would be Lil Wayne. Or Lil Wayne and Kanye are very interchangeable for me. They're both kind of like dickhead idiots, but Kanye is a lot more of a dickhead idiot, so it does affect him a bit more. Let me see something real quick, actually. Rick Ross is 50. Just check that. Yeah. Melly Mel. MC Light. Jada Kiss 46. Stop playing with my boy Jada, bro. Jada definitely higher than 46, bro. Dr. Dre at 40? He has one of the greatest albums of all time. Genuinely one of the greatest albums of all time. This is crazy, man. Future at 35. Wow. Busta Rhymes 33. T.I. 32. And I read all the ones from 30. Damn. Great list, though. Like, not really a great list. I don't really agree with much of the list, but it's still something good to talk about. Let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments, and peace.